Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, sit a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators. So today is March 22nd, 2020, in real life, not in the game, and I really just want to reach out and say that I hope that you are all safe with all of the craziness that's going on in the world right now. I know we're all sick of hearing about it already, but it is a reality. So I just want to make sure that that I mentioned that I want for all of you to, be cautious and be careful about everything that's going on. Hopefully, for those of you that are adults, hopefully that you have a chance to work from home. I really hope nobody's losing their jobs or anything. Those are trying times, so hopefully that happens. For those of you that are younger, like still in school and everything, it's pretty cool. You get to stay at home and everything, maybe play some video games and watch a bunch of stuff, and that's pretty cool. Just remember, this is not a party, it's not a vacation. There's a threat out there, so please be careful. As for me, if anybody is worried, I do have to go to work tomorrow morning. I'm gonna get special training on something different that I'm gonna do for my job, and after a couple hours I am coming back home with my work computer, and I am going to be working from home for the foreseeable future. I'm kind of blessed in a way. That's a brand new job for me, and they are allowing me to do that instead of just, letting me go. I mean, I started just 2 weeks ago and everything, so I guess I kind of lucked out. So I'm going in tomorrow morning, get some specific training for a couple hours, come back home, and then I am not planning to come back out for a long while until that all, calms down out there. So I just wanted to say that, and obviously, if you're watching this in 7 months or something, that might not be of actuality anymore. But I do know that I have at least a few different individuals that tend to watch my videos as soon as they are out, and I did wanted to say that I hope that everybody's gonna stay safe. So that's it for the pandemic, and I will not be mentioning it again, so I just wanted to say something, and I did. So now on with the game, because that's the reason you are watching this, is not to hear about what you're hearing everywhere else. It's to be entertained. At least hopefully I'm entertaining enough for you to come back, but it's to entertain you with fictional historical hockey simulation, and see if I can build a dynasty with the Ottawa Senators after winning the Stanley Cup last year. Alright, so as usual, prior to starting this season and prior to shooting this video, what I did is that I decided on who's going to be on the starting lineup for the team. Couple surprises maybe, but nothing too crazy. So I decided to stick with some Thomas as the backup for Ryan Miller. At least I think Ryan Miller is going to be the starter. Sometimes the computer likes to do funny stuff, so I guess we're going to find that out. But I decided to keep some Thomas with Ryan Miller, and I've put Mike Dunham on the trading block. We'll see what happens with that. On D, I'm keeping Zdeno Chara, Brian McCabe. Anton Volchenkov made the team out of camp. He had a pretty decent training camp, so I decided to keep him. Nicholas Avlid, Chris Phillips, Derek Morris, and Sheldon Sorry. So those are my 7 defensemen that I'm keeping. Of note that I sent down is Sami Salou, who really didn't have that great of a season last year. A little bit underwhelming. I was expecting maybe a little bit more from Sami Salou. I know in real life Sami Salou had a pretty good shot, and it doesn't really translate in this game, at least not in this sim here, so I sent him down, and we're gonna see. So that's where I'm going with that. Of course, there might be injuries and whatnot, so we're gonna keep an eye on what's happening from there. Left wing, a lot of times has been a weak point for this team, and it is the case this year. I do not have a great left side, so I'm keeping Patrick Elias, which is injured right now, and I decided to keep Alexandre Giroux because I really don't have a lot of people playing the left wing. Magnus Arvidsson and Andreas Dackel are on the left wing as well, so maybe a little bit of a weakness, left wingers. So if for Mike Dunham I can get a decent left winger, that would be pretty cool. I decided that the 2 extra attackers that I am keeping are going to be centers. So I have Matt Cullen, Pavel Datsyuk, Mike Fisher, Joe Thornton, Mike Sillinger, and Alexei Yashin. So Joe Thornton and Pavel Datsyuk have been moved back to their original positions, so I don't know what's going to happen here, especially since I'm weak on the left side. I don't know if they're going to move like Datsyuk back to left wing. I guess we're about to find that out too. And then on the right side, which is probably one of my strengths for sure, I have Daniel Alfredson, Martin Avlat, Mariano Ossa, and Bill Guerin. So a lot of top-end talent, a very high payroll. Choices will need to be made. I don't think that I'm going to keep Bill Guerin past this season, which is a shame because last season he had his best season as an Ottawa Senator with 66 points, 30 goal season. I mean, like I said, choices will need to be made, so we'll figure it out. But I'm going to need to shed a little bit of salary, I'm afraid. So this is where we're standing right now. The season starts in 5 days. October is going to be a little bit of a short month, so we'll see how long this video is going to last, but let's go ahead and move on here. Alright, and if you hear loud coughing in the background, I apologize. That is my girlfriend, who I do not believe she's got the virus. She's been coughing for months now. So yeah, so I apologize if you hear that. If you don't, well, just disregard. Alright, so those players might be claimed. They probably won't, because that usually doesn't happen. Alright, and I am going to sim one day, and I'm gonna look for maybe some left wingers, see if maybe I can claim one or something. So alright, so Mike Dunham with his $1 million contract is put on waivers. Oh, Roman Chikmanik as well. Semi Salo. Jarkko Ruutu. I don't want Jarkko Ruutu. I detested having Jarkko Ruutu on my team when he joined the Sens. I hated that. Nicholas Hagman, maybe? It's slim pickings. I don't want Jarkko Ruutu. Let's claim Nicholas Hagman, or at least attempt to claim him. That's the only player I'm going to try. I don't have a lot of money, but he's an upgrade over Alexandre Giroux for sure. So let's try to claim him. All right, let's advance here. Yep, looks like I got him. Yes, sir. All right, Nicholas Hagman, part of the Ottawa Senators, not a superstar or anything, but I needed somebody better than Alexandre Giroux. Plus, he came to camp out of shape last year, I believe. So I'm still sour about that, I guess. All right. All right. So the National Hockey League season about to get underway. The early Stanley Cup favorites appear to be Ottawa, led by center Joe Thornton. General Manager Jesse Bonhomme has built a squad that will be the team to beat this year, but they can expect challenges from Lou Lamoriello's New Jersey Devils and Detroit, featuring defenseman Nicklas Lidstrom. And on the dark horses, Colorado stands out as a possible challenger with a big season by Joe Sakic, capable of pushing them into contender status. The scoring race will likely see Pittsburgh's Jaromir Jagr challenged by Teemu Selanne of Phoenix and Colorado's Joe Sakic. The top defenseman in the league is generally considered to be Chicago Blackhawks blue liner Chris Chelios, with Detroit's Nick Lidstrom and Rob Blake of LA also in the running. Finally, among goaltenders, New Jersey's Martin Brodeur stands out as the league's best, while New York Islanders netminder Roberto Luongo and Patrick Roy of Montreal can also steal games for their teams. Alright, Nicholas Hagman wants number 28. Sadly, it's taken, so you can have number 26. Alright, and that allows me to send Alexandre Giroux down. There you go. Alright. So Hagman is cheap. He's 22. Might need to get re-signed. We'll see. Might just be a stopgap for this year. We'll figure all that out as the season progresses. Alright, Patrick Elias is about to be ready to come back, which is a good thing, because I need him for the start of the season. Alright, and the season starts tomorrow, which is now today. Alright, Milan Hajduk has a memorable game, so I guess the season has started for other teams. So Milan Hajduk got a goal and 4 assists against Dallas in an 8-5 victory. Wow, pretty good start for the Avalanche. There was no stopping Owen Nolan in that same game. He had 3 goals and 3 assists for 6 points. Wow. What was Owen Nolan's nickname? I think it was the Cowboy. Did I get that wrong? I think it was. As usual, feel free to correct me in the comments if if I'm wrong. That's totally fine. Teemu Selanne extends his goal streak to 7 with 2 goals against LA. Another good season start for Selanne. He's still a 5-star player at 32 years old. Alright, so we are playing the Devils for the first game of the season at home. So let's take a look at how good they are. So of course, Martin Brodeur and Brent Johnson in net. So again, you don't really need a backup when you have Brodeur, especially at, in 2002, Brodeur played 78 games probably or something like that. So back then, he was playing a lot. On D, Jason Cullimore, Ray Giroux, Jay Mickey, Colin White, Deron Quint, Jan Moran, Scott Niedermeyer, and Brian Rafalski. So again, no Scott Stevens, huh? So past Niedermeyer and Rafalski, that D is really not all that great. Those two are really good though. Brian Junta, Steve Sullivan, Antoine Vermette that I traded to New Jersey for Patrick Elias, Joni Wendyke. Oh, so we're going to see some familiar faces in there. Brian Rolston, John Madden, Harry York, Scott Gomez, Tony Amante, still playing, 32 years old, Tony Amante. He's still a 3-star player, pretty good. Claude Lemieux, still playing, 37. Alexander Mogilny, Peter Sikora, and Ron Petrovicki. Alright, so great goaltending, pretty good offense. The D after those first 2 defensemen is pretty shaky. Alright, so let's see. Ooh. So Datsyuk is moved back to the wing. Thornton is now my first line center. Yashin plays on the second line, but, he's playing with Elias and Alfredson, so he's fine. And then we have Matt Cullen with Bill Guerin and Magnus Arvidsson, and Mike Sillinger on the 4th line with Nicholas Hagman and Mike Fisher. And on D, I have Shara with Surrey, McCabe with Morris, and Volchenkov with Nicholas Avlid. Looks like Chris Phillips is sitting this game out. Alright. Oh, looks like we're going to start Tim Thomas to start the season. I don't know if he's going to be our starter or what, but Martin Brodeur in net for the Devils, and for your Ottawa Senators, Tim Thomas is going to be in net. So the 2002-2003 season is officially underway for the Sens, and we start with a 6-1 win. All right, pretty good start. We outshot New Jersey 45-29. Joe Thornton was the first star with a goal and 3 assists. Marian Osa was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Pavel Datsyuk was the third star with a goal and 2 assists as well. Alright, so we had 15,077 people in attendance for a team that finished first and won the Stanley Cup. Looks like I'm still being punished for those bad first few seasons, as far as attendance goes. So Joe Thornton opened up the scoring in the first period, scored our first goal of the season, assisted by Datsuk and Marianosa. And then Mike Sittinger scored from Sheldon Surrey, and then Brian McCabe from Joe Thornton and Sheldon Surrey. It was 3-0 Sens after one. Then in the second period, Yashin scored on the power play, assisted by Joe Thornton. And then Marianosa from Datsuk and Thornton. It was 5-0 Sens after two. Then Pavel Datsuk made it 6-0 from Anton Volchenkov. The A-Train gets his first NHL point, and Marian Osa. And then with 23 seconds left to go in the game, Scott Gomez prevented Tim Thomas from getting a shutout by scoring on the power play. 6-1, our final score. Pavel Bure extends his point streak to 14 games with a goal against Calgary. Daniel Sedin's point streak ended at 12 games, and that same game was not able to get a point. Alright, next game is tomorrow in Toronto. Alright. Patrick Eliash is back. Awesome. And Lane Ulmer resumes skating. Good for him. Alright, we are about to play Toronto in Toronto. Toronto is 0-1, so they lost their first game apparently. Let's take a look at their line. Oh, they have a few injuries. So Richard Matvichuk and Frederick Modine are both hurt, so that's not going to help them. And in net, they still have Jean-Sébastien Giguère. That's pretty good. They do have Ty Conklin as well, so that's a pretty good tandem in net here. Pretty good. Ian White on D, Patrick Travers, Thomas Caberly, Karel Pilash, Dimitri Mironov, Yannick Tremblay on D. That's an average D at best. Brad Boys, Ponikarovsky, Varlamov, Steen, Fyodoruk, Marchand, Perrault, Brian Smolinski, Tim Taylor, Moore, Jelena Girard, Eric Cole, Kirilenko, and Nick Antropov. Ugh. Oh boy. Nick Antropov is considered the captain of this team. That's not good for them. Yeah, that team is not that good. If they win games, it's going to be on the back of their goaltending because they really don't have a whole lot going on for them other than that. Oh, we're going with Ryan Miller for this one, and Giguère in net for Toronto. And we won 4-2, so first road victory of the season for the Sens. We outshot Toronto 43-24. Pavel Datsuk was the first star of this game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Martin Gélina for Toronto was the second star with 2 assists. And Sheldon Surrey, third star with a goal and an assist. Alright, so Toronto opened up the scoring in the first, and then Sheldon Surrey tied the game up, assisted by Datsuk and Thornton. It was 1-1, and then Zdeno Chara scored on the power play from Pavel Datsuk. It was 2-1 Sens after 1. Then Toronto tied it up in the second period. It was tied at 2, but we scored twice in the third period. Zdeno Chara from Thornton and Sheldon Surrey, and then Pavel Datsuk from Andreas Dackel and Derek Morris. 4-2 Sens is the final score. Oh, Jay Boomister. So we're starting to see players that are actually still playing. Yeah, I mean, aside from Zdeno Chara, because he's playing really at a really older age. But well, I don't know that we can say that Jay Boomister is still playing because he had that cardiac incident that happened. But I think you know what I mean. Alright, so... Oh wow, Jay Boomister starts at 2.5 stars at 19 years old. So Florida finally has a pretty good player. All right, so with all that said, Jay Boomister had a hat trick, 3 goals. He scored all of the goals for the Panthers in a 3-2 win against Atlanta. So good job for Jay Boomister. Patrick Marleau has a memorable game. He had a hat trick against Montreal. He scored all the goals. It's a natural hat trick too, all in a row in the same period. 3-0 win. So Patrick Marleau is now a 2.5-star player. Pavel Bure extends his point streak to 15 with 2 assists against San Jose. Alright, and next game is in a couple days. We're going to go back home to play against the Phoenix Coyotes. Prolific passing night for Milan Hajduk, who had 4 assists against Boston. Wow. Jaromir Jagr has a memorable game. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against Toronto. Huh. Nice little game for Jagr. 30 years old, still a 5-star player. Pavel Bure extends his point streak to 16 with a goal and an assist against Calgary. So Pavel Bure is a 2.5-star player now. Maybe slowing down a little bit. Alright, we are playing Phoenix. Phoenix is 2-1 on the season so far. Let's take a look at their team. Alright, they still have Nikolai Abibulin in net and Patrick Desrochers, so that's fine. Boris Mironov, Derek Walser, Darren Van Imp, Ossi Vananen, Tommy Albeling, Jason Doig, Teppo Numminen. So, yeah, that D is not all that great. Shane Doan, Stéphane Matteau, Dean McCammon, Keith Kachuk, Jean-Guy Trudel, Stu Barnes, Chris Draper, Martinson, Zamnov, Korolyuk, Ile Briere, Mike Knubel, Teemu Selanne. Yeah, that's decent offense, good goaltending. That D, though, not that great. Alright, go Sens go. So Abibulin in net for Phoenix, and we are going back to Ryan Miller. And it's a win, 5-1 for the Sens against Phoenix. We outshot Phoenix 63-18. Brian McCabe was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Derek Morris was the second star with an assist, and Andreas Dackel, third star, with 2 assists as well. We had 13,887 people in attendance. Joe Thornton opened up the scoring in the first on the power play from Alexei Yashin. It was 1-0 Suns after 1. Then in the second period, Bill Guerin scored from McCabe and Dackel, and then Patrick Eliash from Derek Morris. 3-0 Suns after 2. Then Phoenix scored. It was 3-1 at that point, but shortly after, Bill Guerin scored from Shara and Dackel, and Marianosa from Pavel Datsyuk and Brian McCabe made it 5-1, which was our final score. Pavel Datsyuk extends his assist streak to 8 games with an assist in that game. Good. I like when my players get stuff like that. Alright. And now we're not playing for 8 days. No further action needed for Montreal's Scott Thornton. He was not suspended. Pavel Bure's point streak ended at 16 games. He was held pointless against Boston. Alright. Oh, that's not good. Mika Kiprusov of San Jose was injured today during his routine morning run. I felt a little pull in my leg while I was running. Doesn't seem too bad, but I'm going to get it checked out to be safe. Coach Robbie Ftorek commented, "We'll be keeping an eye on it. It's just not worth risking further injury by playing him." Alright, so he's hurt for a little while, and we have a trade proposal from the Minnesota Wild. So you are offering me Peter Bartos for Vaclav Nedorost. I do not think that I will make this trade. Thank you for your inquiry, though. Because I'm not interested doesn't mean I cannot stay polite. Alright. No additional miss time for New York's Andy Delmore, not suspended. Boston's Petrasic suspended. So David Petrasic, not to be mistaken with 2020 David Pasternak, different players. So David Petrasic got suspended. He's going to miss 2 games. Great night for Teemu Selanne, who had a hat-trick against Toronto. Good job, 3 goals. And there was a trade between the Buffalo Sabres and the Dallas Stars. So PJ Axelson was acquired right before this season by Buffalo. He's now going to Dallas. And Buffalo gets Nick Boynton to play on D for them. Interesting. I don't know that there's a clear winner in that trade, so to me it's a pretty even trade. Oh, scouting reports, awesome, and something we haven't seen in a while, so I don't know if it's because I've been, making, I don't know if it's because of my post that I made a couple months back about the game and things we were seeing too often. We're not seeing every month the player helping a friend move getting hurt every month either. And the Team Kangaroo Court we haven't seen in a while too, so that's good. But Montreal is reinstating it now, and it's John Leclerc that's going to catch somebody stepping on the logo. Buffalo's Peter Svoboda is suspended. He's going to miss 8 games. Yikes. Oh, Matt Cook is out with torn ankle ligaments. He's out for 3 months. I am not a big Matt Cook fan. Of course, as an Ottawa Senator, the most memorable Matt Cook moment I remember is when he severed Eric Carson's Achilles with a skate. So, obviously, I don't think very highly of Matt Cook. Oh, yeah. Alright. Alright, so 3 more days before we play a game again. Nothing happened there. Alright, so David Petrasic's suspension has ended in Boston. He is back in the lineup. Dynamic passing leads to productive night for Darcy Tucker, who now plays in Philadelphia. He had 4 assists against Buffalo. Pretty good game. Big game for Jeff Sanderson, who had a hat-trick 3 goals against the Islanders right before playing us. Stephen Weiss stepped on the logo in Montreal, and he's being punished. So Stephen Weiss is in Montreal, huh? Alright, so we are getting ready to face the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina is 3-4 on the season. Of course, we have only played 3 games, but we had like that week off for whatever reason. So despite the fact that we still haven't lost a game this season, we are 7th in the East because we have played so few games. Everybody else pretty much have all played 6 and 7 games. We only have played 3. Alright, so let's take a look at Carolina's lineup here. So we know that Jeff Sanderson just had a great game. So Chris Pronger is hurt and Andrew Castles is hurt as well. And they're running with only 21 players on their roster. Maybe they can't afford to have more. Alright, so Sean Burke and Steve Veliket in net. So Sean Burke's getting older, 35, 2.5 star goaltender, still decent, but not as good as he used to be. Oh, Boumediene. I had forgotten about that player. So it's Joseph, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, Joseph Boumediene. On the Jamie Rivers, Ruslan Soleil, Mertzig, Sasha Gotch, Paul Laus, Pierre Dagenet, Pavel Dimitra, Craig Adams, Nils Ekman, Leclerc, Sanderson, Sturm, Josef Vazicek. Yeah, that's not a great team. They have some okay players, but I'm not expecting for them to win the cup this year. So Schonberg's going to be in net for Carolina, and we're going to go with Tim Thomas. And we won 6-2. We outshot them 63-15. Patrick Elias is the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and 2 assists. Joe Thornton is the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Daniel Alfredson is the third star with 2 goals. We had 13,640 people in attendance. So we took a 3-0 lead in the first. So Patrick Elias from Pavel Datsyuk and Zdeno Chara. Then Daniel Alfredson from Dakel and Elias. And then Joe Thornton on the power play from Elias and Yashin. It was 3-0 after 1. Then Carolina scored both of their goals in the second period, came within 1. It was 3-2 Sens after 2, but then we scored 3 more goals in the third. Daniel Alfredson from Joe Thornton and Zdeno Chara, then Patrick Elias from Anton Volchenkov, and Magnus Arvidsson from Andreas Dakel and Joe Thornton. 6-2, the final score. Pavel Datsyuk extends his assist streak to 9 with an assist in that game that we just played. So good for him. And we are playing tomorrow. We are going to travel to Boston to face the Bruins. Alright, so Boston is 4-2 so far this year. Let's take a look at their lineup. No injuries. So Yevgeny Nabokov and Tomas Vokun in net. That's pretty rock solid right there. Yanni Lokan, Sandis Oslinch, Don Sweeney, Brendan Smith, Craig Rivet, David Petrasek, David Tanabe on D. That's a decent D. And then on forward, Josef Stumpel, Ted Donato, Robert Cron, Claude Lapointe, Josh Oden, Keith Primo, Mike Ritchie, Alan McCauley, David Viborny. Oh, they signed David Viborny, huh? Oye Jokinen, Marius Czarkowski, Glenn Murray, Mark Mowers, and Maxim Sushinsky. Oh, they got Maxim Sushinsky as well. I didn't want to get rid of him. I had to shed some salary. Alright. Well, Boston is actually decent. They don't have, like, superstars or anything, but they're pretty decent up and down the lineup. So I'm not banging on that to be a sure win for sure. We're gonna go to Ryan Miller in net for that one. They are going to go to Yevgeny Nabokov. And we lost 2-0. See, I did mention that it didn't look like a sure win. So we outshot them 43-23. Nabokov was the first star of the game. Of course, he had the shutout and stopped 43 pucks, so he deserves the first star. Derek Morris was the second star, didn't get any points. And Josef Stumpel was the third star with an assist. So that's pretty much it. So the news here is probably to let us know that Pavel Datsyuk's streak has ended. Yep, at 9 games, because we were shut out. Alright, and then we are going to go and play in Montreal. Alright. Good night for Alexei Kovalev, who had 4 goals against the Kings. So he scored all 4 goals for his team. Pretty good little performance there. And there's been another trade between Dallas and Buffalo. So, alright, so Ulf Dallin goes to Buffalo for Chris Thorburn. All right. Interesting trade. I don't think that Chris Thorburn is going to become a 3.5-star player at all. And Ulf Dallen's getting older, so I'm not too sure what to think about that trade. All right, we are about to face the Montreal Canadiens, who are first in the East. That makes me throw up in my mouth a little to say that. But that's where they are. Of course, they have played 2 more games than us, and now we are about to face them. Let's take a look at their lineup. We saw that they have Stephen Weiss. Brian Savage is hurt. He's not going to be playing this game. Of course, they have Patrick Roy in net and Dwayne Rawson as the backup. They are set in net. Oh, Patrick Roy is starting to decline. He's only a 4.5-star goaltender anymore. Of course, he's 37, so yeah. Andrei Markov, Jamie Eward, Mathieu Schneider, Patrice Brisebois, Eric Desjardins, and Ed Javanovsky on D. That's a pretty good D. So great goaltending, good D, and they have a pretty good offense too. So yeah, they're good. Sergei Berezin, Dopita, Leclerc, German Titov, Brian Savage, Stephen Weiss, Danfus, Brennan, Koivu, Pascal Réaume, Todd White, Valerie Bourré, Thornton, Zoltak, and Michael Ryder. Yeah. That's a good team. Alright, we're going to go with Tim Thomas in net, and they are sending Patrick Roy. And we lost 4-2. We outshot them 38-27. Scott Thornton of Montreal was the first star of the game. He had a hat trick, 3 goals. Ouch. Mike Sillinger was the second star with an assist, and third star belongs to Patrick Roy with 36 saves. Alright, so Montreal took a 2-0 lead into the first, and then Derek Morris scored, assisted by Mike Sillinger. It was 2-1 Montreal after one. Then they scored in the second, made it 3-1. Then Pavel Datsyuk scored on the power play from Sharon Thornton to bring us to within 1, but then Scott Thornton completed his hat trick, and 4-2 was the final score. Alright, so Scott Thornton had a hat trick against us. We just saw that. And the next game is going to be in Philadelphia against the Flyers in 3 days. Oh, freshly acquired for Buffalo's Nick Boynton just got suspended. He's going to miss 4 games. So already leaving a mark with his new team. Jere Lehtinen in Dallas got injured. He is going to miss 4 months due to a torn calf muscle. That's going to hurt Dallas. He's pretty good. No further discipline for Dallas's Mike Modano. Not suspended. 3.5-star player. 32 years old. Mike Modano already. Time flies for sure. Chris Chelios is hurt. He's going to be day-to-day with calf cramps. Alright, so Lane Ulmer is not injured anymore, so I can send him to Binghamton. Yes, I did that already. Alright, so we are going to be facing the Philadelphia Flyers. They are 5-3 on the season, so they have 10 points. They are ahead of us in the standings. Let's take a look at their lineup. So Matt Cook is hurt for 3 to 4 months. I did not shed a tear for that. Let's take a look here. So Jamie McLennan is still playing in Philly. And then Steve Shields. Not a great tandem. Philadelphia absolutely wants to recreate their real-life problems by not having solid goaltending. So that's what's going on there right now, I suppose. Yaroslav Modry, Pavel Trunka, Tertishny, Willie Mitchell, Bannister, Kevin Hatcher, Brad Ferentz, Eric Weinrich on D. That D is not that great either. but they have a really good offense, so that's where the strength of the Philadelphia Flyers is. Marcus Naslund, Justin Williams, Simon Gagne, Rod Brindamore, Brian Holzinger, Eric Lindros, Darcy Tucker, Mike Smith, something like that. Who are you? Mark Smith. Daniel Zubrus, Mark Rickey, Mikael Renberg, and Martin St. Louis. That's probably, that offense rivals ours for sure. I mean, this is a very good offense. We have a very good offense as well. That's why I'm saying that rivals with ours. That's a pretty solid forward corp right there. Alright, so they're going to go to Jamie McLennan in net, and we're going to go to Ryan Miller. And we won 6-4. Go figure, it was a high-scoring affair because those two offenses were dynamite. We outshot Philadelphia 36-29. Patrick Elias was the first star. He had 2 goals and an assist. Kevin Hatcher for Philadelphia had the second star with 2 assists. And Bill Guerin had 2 goals, third star. Philadelphia scored first in the first period. Then Bill Guerin tied the game, assisted by Hagman and Yashin. And then Philadelphia scored again, made it 2-1 Flyers after 1. Then Daniel Alfredson scored on the power play from Datsuk and Thornton to tie the game up at 2. And then Mikael Renberg scored for Philadelphia. It was 3-2 Philly, but the second period was not over. Joe Thornton scored on the power play from Elias and Yashin. Then Bill Guerin scored from Agman and Sillinger. It was 4-3 Sens. And then Simon Gagne scored on the power play before the end of the period to make it 4-4 after 2. But then Patrick Elias would score 2 goals in the third period. The first one assisted by Sheldon Surrey, and then the second one from Shara and Magnus Arvidsson. 6-4 is our final score. And Mike Sillinger improves at left wing. Good for him. Alright, there's only 1 game left here in the month of October, and it's going to be at home against Pittsburgh, and it's tomorrow. Luke Robitaille has recorded 1,250 games played, and he got a goal in that one. Phil Housley has competed in 1,500 games. Didn't get a point in that one. So 38-year-old Phil Housley playing for San Jose now. 2.5 star player, still pretty good. Patrick Roy played in his 1,000th game, and it was a win. And Trevor Linden extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against Buffalo. 32-year-old Trevor Linden, 2.5 star player in Vancouver. Alright, so last game of the month, we are hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins. They are 6-3 on the season. No injuries in Pittsburgh. Trevor Kidd and... oh boy, Gopfert. I guess that's how it's pronounced. Who are you? Bobby Gopfert. And Trevor Kidd in net. Yeah, that's not great goaltending right there. Adrian Aucoin, Andrew Ference, Chris Therien, Greg Zanon, Mickey Dupont, Michael Roosevelt, Brooks Harpick, and Tom Pody. So the D is okay. Not really a good quarterback, though. Jaromir Jagr, Tom Kostopoulos, Martin Streka, Ryan Malone, Michael Sonnenberg, Jeff Daniels, Ron Francis, Mario Lemieux, Jan Herdina, Scott Fraser, Sean McEachern, Trevor Letowski, and Andrei Morozov. So that team's kind of a mixed bag. I am not sure what to expect from them. Alright, they're going to send Trevor Kidd in net. We're going to go to Tim Thomas. And we won 5-1 to finish the month. So pretty good. We went 6-2 for the month. That's pretty good. We outshot Pittsburgh in that one, 41-25. Zdeno Chara was the first star. He had 2 assists. Andreas Dackel was the second star with 2 goals. And Daniel Alfredson, third star with an assist. 13,750 people in attendance. Sheldon Surrey opened up the scoring in the first. He was short-handed from Daniel Alfredson and Zdeno Chara. Then Pittsburgh tied it up. It was 1-1 after one. And then Andreas Dackl scored in the second from Anton Volchenkov and Magnus Arvidsson. Then Mike Sellinger from Zdeno Chara and Matt Cullen. It was 3-1 after two. Then in the third, Marian Osa from Alexei Yashin and Patrick Eliash, and Andreas Dackl from Derek Morris and Pavel Datsyuk. 5-1 is our final score. Sens have a pretty good month of October to start the 2002 and 2003 season. Reinhard Davis is available. I'm not going to pick him up, though. Ooh, apparently Derek Morris got hurt. Day-to-day with a sore hamstring. That's okay. Alright, we are going to sim this day, so that we're November 1st. Bobby Olick got suspended in Buffalo. He will miss 6 games. Trevor Linden extends his point streak to 13 games with a goal and an assist against Colorado. Alright, and Nick Lidstrom and Jamie McLennan are the players of the month in the NHL. So, alright, in the East we are 5th right now. We only played 8 games, so most teams have played like 10, so yeah, Boston is first. Wow, they're doing pretty good. What about the West? What does it look like in the West? In the West we have Detroit, Vancouver, Anaheim, Edmonton, St. Louis, Phoenix, Dallas, and Minnesota. Alright, so Chicago is having it pretty tough, but the worst team in the league is in the East once again, and it is the Atlanta Thrashers, at least so far. Alright, so let's take a look at our stats here. So Joe Thornton is 13 points in 8 games, and Pavel Datsyuk 11 in 8 games. Zdeno Chara is a defenseman, and he's 9 in 8 games, so over a point per game pace for Zdeno Chara. Eliash is 9 in 8 again as well. Andreas Dackl 7 points in 6 games, so he's over a point per game as well. And then after that, it starts to dwindle down a little bit. Sheldon Surrey 6 points, 6 points for Yashin. Osa has 5, and it dwindles down like that. So pretty interesting here, but Joe Thornton is really coming into form here. He is a 3.5 star player right now, and Datsyuk is a 3.5 star player as well. So that is about to be really fun here to look at our stats. The best goal scorer right now is Owen Nolan in the league with 11 goals. The most assists is Mario Lemieux with 13. The best scorer in the league are, because there's more than one, with 18. Owen Nolan, Mike Modano, and Mario Lemieux. Joe Thornton is 7th with 13 points. Alright, so we are looking pretty good over here. Alright, so that's pretty much it for today. We had a pretty good month, and we're in good position. Of course, the first game when we come back is going to be a tough one. We're going to be playing against Detroit. Oh, and then Colorado. Yeah, that's not going to be easy. So we're going to see next time if we can continue to build up on the season and continue towards building a franchise or a dynasty, I should say. So that's kind of the goal. That's my long-term goal here, long-term goal. See if I can do that. So as usual, I want to thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate that. Also, if you've liked the video, feel free to like, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. That is also appreciated. And again, please stay safe. now that I'm going to be working from home, I don't have that commute to go to work. That gives me more time to record more videos for you guys. If you're bored, if you want to look at other things, I do other series as well. So you can always look on my channel, see if there's something that's interesting to you. I understand that not everybody has diverse tastes like me, and that's okay. But if you're quarantined and have very little to do, you can always look at my other series as well if you feel like it. If not, again, nobody's getting angry here. So that's it, folks. Until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys later. Thank you.